Welcome back, painting friends. Today we're going to paint a picture of a moon with a little girl or a little boy. Colors you're going to need are white, black, purple, pink, and blue. I always have my favorite four brushes. I have my 1-inch flat brush, my 10, 6, and 1 brown brush, and I use these Princeton Velvet Touch brushes. I really like those a lot. Make sure you have a cup of water and a rag for keeping your brushes clean. So let's start with our background. And I know we're going to go right over where the moon is going to be. We'll add that in later. But we're going to start off by putting a little bit of water on our canvas with our 1-inch flat brush, just to kind of help the paint smooth over a little bit. So just a little bit of water. And then I'm going to start at the top of the canvas with black paint. And I'm just going to fill in a little area of black paint. I want it to definitely look like it's nighttime behind the moon, but I don't want this picture to be too dark. So after I have the black on there, I can go ahead and just wipe my brush off. I'm not going to wash it off, but I'm going to go in with purple. And I'm going to make my next layer purple. I'm going to have those two colors blend by just taking my brush up to the top and then back down. That'll give it a really nice, easy blend of those colors. And most of this background is going to be purple. Once I get to about the halfway point of my canvas, I can wash my brush off. I just wipe it off if you want to. Grab some blue. And again, I'm just going to make the rest of this blue kind of pulling up into that purple. And then pulling that purple down into that blue. And if your blue is too bright of a blue, just grab some more purple. Remember, we are going for a night sky. Now I'm going to go until about 1 inch from the bottom of my 11 by 13 canvas. Go ahead and smooth those colors out. And remember, if you're liking what you're seeing, make sure that you like and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you are kept up to date on all of my videos. Perfect. Now I'm going to wipe that brush off and I'm going to paint just this bottom area in plain black. If you want to add a hill or anything, you're free to do that. I'm going to paint this bottom area. I think I am going to add a small hill right here. Another one right there. We are going to let this dry, and when we come back, we are going to add in that big, beautiful moon. Next up is I'm going to take a paper plate, my studio paper plate, and I'm going to set it right in the center at the top of my canvas, and I'm just going to trace it. I might bump it down a little bit. I'm just going to trace it. From there, I can take my number 10 round brush and just paint this whole space in white. Now this might take 2 coats of white paint. We're going to paint this entire moon in white. I did end up putting 2 coats on my moon, but now I'm going to add some fun to the moon. So I've got my number 10 round brush, and I'm going to have some white paint and a little bit of blue paint. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of add some spots of really light blue. If you get too much blue on there, just go ahead and add some more white to it. But just go in, and I'm going to make some areas a little bit more blue, some areas a little bit more white, just to kind of add a little bit of fun to the picture. And it's a moon. It should have a little bit of variation. And these colors and these spaces don't really have to be anything special. I would just take some white when you're done with your area and kind of go around it so that it kind of blends back in with that moon area. So what I mean is, like, I've got this big blob right here. I'm now going to take white and just kind of encircle that big blob, go into the middle, and then go back out towards the edge where the white is, just to kind of give it like a really nice blend back into the white area. And take some of that light blue and just gently go around the edge of the moon, kind of brushing it in, maybe not fully mixing it, but just a little bit of that lighter blue color around the edge. All right, let's lay out some of our details on our landscape. You can add whatever you want to the base of it. I'm just going to add a couple of trees. So I'm going to take some black paint on my number 6 round brush. And my first tree is going to be right over here on this side. And I'm just going to kind of make it go right over here, over top of that moon. I like to start my trees with the letter Y. You can see it's right here. And then just go in and add a couple more branches to it just to kind of fill it in. I'm going to put one more tree on this opposite side over here. Actually, I think I'm going to go ahead and make this tree trunk a little bit fatter here. I'm also going to go on the ground and add some little black lines coming up. So I've got my number 6 round brush and I've got some watered down paint. All I'm going to do is start at the black base and I'm just going to kind of flick a couple little lines up, maybe like a small patch of grass around this tree and a little bit in the center. So all I'm doing is just trying to flick the lines up so that they're really thin. All right, let's let this dry and when we come back, we're going to add in our kiddo. I did go ahead and sketch out my person. I do struggle drawing people. So if you want to sketch yours out ahead of time, I strongly suggest it. Here's what I did. I started off with an oval head. I added in a small point for the nose. I kind of curved the back a little bit, and then I made the arm come down and make like a letter V with a hand holding out. So that was the part that I sketched just to make sure I could do it. So I'll show you again. So I started off with an oval, and I'm using a number 6 round brush. So I started off making an oval. From there, I added a small little nose coming out and the bottom of the face a little bit wider. Go ahead and paint that in black. Then I did a small little rectangle for the neck. The back, I just kind of took it and I kind of arched it to the bottom. For the shoulder, I came out and I said I made that V right here. Then I put his little hand right there. Go ahead and paint, oh, and then the front of the belly. So we're going to paint that in. And then I did put just a pair of shorts. I just made a small little rectangle that kind of gets wider at the base for a pair of shorts. And then the legs just go down with a small little bump for the calf. Down to the bottom. Now, if you want, you can have an image coming out of the hand. So I'm going to put a small butterfly here, and I'm just going to make a little line, and then 2 small wings. Might need a second coat of paint. Just to kind of connect all those pieces together to make it look a little bit more connected. Little fingers going up there. I'm going to take my number 10 round brush with a little bit of black paint, and I am just going to kind of put some spots on here. I want to be able to see the moon through my trees, but I also want to make sure that I'm not just painting right on the branches. You got to kind of fill in the tree and imagine that there's other branches there. So I'm just going to go in here and add some dots to this to fill in my trees. Just joking, I forgot the trees. So make sure that you don't forget your trees. I'm going to take my number 10 round brush with a little bit of black paint, and I am just going to kind of put some spots on here. I want to be able to see the moon through my trees, but I also want to make sure that I'm not just painting right on the branches. You got to kind of fill in the tree and imagine that there's other branches there. So I'm just going to go in here and add some dots to this to fill in my trees. Now, if you like what you're doing, make sure you grab a color that shows up well on your canvas and sign your name. And remember, I don't see what you're painting at home unless you post it to my Facebook page, Painting with a Purpose. Make sure that you like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Painting with a Purpose, so you're kept up to date on all of my tutorials. And remember, as always, stay kind, stay creative, and stay safe. Have a great day, friends. Bye now.